Are you done moving?
Yeah. So the long story short of it, like moved from one town to the other and still in upstate New York. Did like one day where we moved all the big stuff. Okay, this is actually like kind of hilarious. So I like rented the 10-foot U-Haul box truck, right? And so it's like just me. And so I go and I get my box truck and it's just me and my box truck against the world. And I felt,
Available to help you.
huh?
I was available to help you.
Yeah, I guess I could have called you. I didn't want to make you drive just to help me move across town, but like,
That far. All
um,
right, go. Get your box truck. 10-foot box truck.
I
Just
have
you.
a box truck and it's me and I'm like, I can't pick up any of these big things by myself. And everybody was like AWOL, but it ended up working out and I found people. I know, I should have called you. You probably would have been there before they were. But ended up making like one trip and it was like a very hectic and chaotic day, but all the big stuff got moved and then that was like over the weekend. And then that next like few days and like that week, I just moved stuff every night, like in my car every night until like 9 or 10 p.m. And then the last night I took like 3 loads of stuff over because it was mostly like my kitchen stuff because it took like I have so much stuff for my kitchen. I didn't realize how much kitchen stuff I have and like I have a bunch of stuff that like I don't even use. Like I barely use my blender. Well, that's not true. I use my blender, but then I have another blender that's like those like NutriBullet Ninja type, like the little ones with like the bottles. And I never use that, but I have it. I have a food processor that I've never used, which like was my mom's old food processor, and then she got a newer one, so she gave me that one. So like she just had never used like the like one attachment, so it's like new to me food processor. But yeah, I got so much kitchen stuff, and it was a pain in the butt to move it all over. But I'm all moved in. I think my roommate said she finished like unpacking all of the kitchen stuff after I left because I left Schenectady on the 17th and I will not be back until the 7th. So I'm going to be gone for a long time from upstate. So hoping that the snow wasn't too bad and I'm not going to have to like dig my car out of a hole because it's probably completely walled in. But
It's hot up here now, so it'll probably all melt away.
that is true. I think I got a Snapchat today that it's like 47 in Schenectady. So
It's 49 here right now. It's probably similar in Schenectady.
so
And we didn't even get a lot here. At least like right where I am. If you go like 15 miles north, like toward Canada,
mhm.
along the lake, then they got like several feet. But
Yeah.
obviously it's still
Low too.
like I think where I live and then where you live, like the Syracuse Albany track didn't get a lot.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of nice. Oh my goodness. Everyone, like, seeing all, like, my family friends and my family down here, they're all like, are you freezing? It's so cold up there. How you doing? Covered in snow? And it's like the same conversation every single time of them being like, are you freezing? You're so cold. It's so cold. And that's all they know. They're just like, it's so cold up there. And I'm like, it's
You know,
literally I was like,
yeah,
rural upstate is the exact same as rural Georgia. It's the same place.
it really is. I tell people that all the time. Like it does feel, yeah, like the upstate New York feels like a southern town kind of a thing, but
Yeah.
just to be more north.
Yeah, my dad, like, 'cause he grew up in, like, not North Georgia, but north-ish Georgia, like, before it got all developed. And when we were driving around, like, when they came to visit in September, they were like, oh yeah. My dad was like, this looks just like my hometown, like, 15 minutes out of Schenectady. And I was like, yeah, pretty much. So it's nice. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I'm also, I don't know, I'm like kind of back and forth on how I feel about like how warm it is in Georgia today. Like it might hit the 70s tomorrow. Let me check. I heard from someone that it's going to get like warm tomorrow.
Global warming. It's not.
No, the high is tomorrow's in the 60s, not the 70s. Oh goodness. The high, I think the warmest it'll be while I'm here has a high of 67 degrees. So, that'll be pretty warm.
Alright, we'll come back to this. We have to get to the theme song, which, and you'll be the first one to hear it, I guess. Not really. I'll tell you about it after. But it's a new theme song.
New theme song?
Here, we're gonna go through it right now, and I'm gonna send it to you. Because the way this podcast works is I add it in later, so.
Yeah. Yeah, send it to me so I can listen to it, and then I'll listen to it and give my thoughts.
This is the Experience Podcast with me and someone else.
It's Elizabeth.
I'm going to stall while she listens to the new theme, which the listeners have already heard. And I'll preface this by saying, Owen and I worked on this. We didn't spend that much time on it. And if you hate it, you should give us your honest feedback, because she's jamming. Because I asked someone else about it, and I'll tell you what they said. Which we didn't really hear until they said it, and now we can't Owen and I'm talking about, can't unhear it. But yeah, I was gonna say, if you hate it, it was all Owen's ideas.
I really like that. That's so fun.
Okay.
It's fun.
We asked an anonymous source, and Mary said that she thought it's like a hold music, like your phone, like you're on hold, like the first part. So we were like, crap, that does kind of sound. So we threw a little tambourine track, just to give it a little bump, a little more.
I can see where that came from, but it's like, it's got more of a groove. I feel like hold music isn't this lit.
Well, and we, Owen and I struggled, like, what kind of feeling, what kind of mood do we want for this theme? Because the podcast doesn't really have a theme anyway. And I figured it was about time we mix up and get a new song. It's been an episode. We're on 232 episodes.
I'll say there is no theme. It's just the experience.
Yeah. So we want something.
Experience whatever we feel like talking about.
It's calming, but I think it's got, like you said, it has enough of a groove.
Yeah. It's got the jazz, like the little Hammond organ sound.
Yes. It's almost like alt jazz.
Yeah. Gives it like a funky soul. Okay, so I'm gonna cut my hair. How much hair do you think I should cut off? All of it? Shave my head?
Just shave your head.
I'm thinking like collarbone length hair.
It's what you usually cut it down to, don't you? When you cut it a lot.
Yeah, I like it shorter. Basically what happened was I got my hair cut up in Schenectady by my friends. My friend goes to this like one person in this like one salon. And so I went to that salon and I really liked them, but my hair did not do well with that haircut. Like it like messed up like my wave pattern and everything. And so I was like, I wasn't really sure like what to do. So I just like let it grow out to try and like fix itself so that I can like cut it off to the length I want and it won't have all like the weird layers in it.
Is it just that place? Can't you go somewhere else maybe?
Yeah, like I could go somewhere else in Schenectady, but then I was like, well, I'm home. I might as well cut it while I'm here because I can get it cut by the person who I always get it cut by. Like it got to the point where like once it was long enough, I was like, I'm almost home. I can just go to my person from home.
Can't always rely on that. Every time you get a haircut, you're going to go back.
I knew people who did that in college. They would only get haircuts when they went home for break.
Oh, that's a lot. I could never do. I mean, it's probably different because you don't get a haircut as often.
Yeah. Well, no, I like knew like men who did that.
My hair grows really fast, so I have to get it like once a month.
Yeah. That is, yeah. That is too frequent to be going. I mean, especially because, these were all people who were like local, like Georgia.
It's different than like I got to go to California from Atlanta to get my hair cut.
Mhm. So, did you do anything fun for the holiday?
Sorry, I hurt myself. What did I do?
You alright?
No, I just like was wiping something off my table and I hit like one of the legs on the table.
That's the worst.
It's a classic bump and bruise that I get from living. Um, you get it. Let's see. I went to. I don't know if I've said the exact location. I went to another location to visit Owen's family.
Okay, I don't think you ever. Maybe you have. I don't know. You can be secretive about it.
It was a location on planet Earth to visit Owen's family for Christmas, which I seem to do every year now. Because obviously my family doesn't really do much for Christmas. Well, at least immediate family. My mother's side, is Christian, but we never really do that much. So I basically I've gone to his family for the last like few years.
That's nice.
I get Christmas presents, so.
Were you there for like a week? Just a few days?
A few days, yeah. Just the days that I had off. Well, what's funny is like, we got there and we counted, cause he's got a bunch of siblings and everything. And we counted all the stockings and he was like, I don't know if you didn't get one. Not technically family. And then on Christmas Day, we got a Christmas miracle. Santa got me a stocking.
Very nice.
His mom always gets me gifts.
Mm-hmm.
She got me some stuff, but, we ended up getting his parents like a new pots and pans, and apparently they're raving about them.
Very nice. Do you know what kind they were? No. Are they they're just like non-stick ones or whatever?
Oh yeah, they're non-stick. I think it was called like Never Stick. I think it's in.
Oh, okay.
Basically non-stick, but it's the brands.
Yeah, the brands. Never Stick, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, we got those. And, what was I gonna say about those? It was like a 10-piece set. But yeah, apparently they're using them a lot. So it was from Bed Bath and whatever. So
Bed Bath and Beyond.
Whatever. Bed Bath and whatever.
Bed Bath and whatever. Actually, the one here, I drove by it the other day because I was driving with my sibling to the mall. We needed to return a candle or like exchange a candle for the scent that Grayson liked. Cause the one that Grayson had was like not it. So, but on the way, we passed where Bed Bath & Beyond used to be. Now it's an Academy Sports and Outdoors. And I was like, this has literally been Bed Bath & Beyond since like I can remember. I don't know. It was just kind of crazy to me.
I think is it kind of dying? Is that a thing?
Perimeter Mall is not dying yet. It's still got.
Bath and whatever. Maybe the mall too, but.
Oh. Well, I feel like most malls are dying, but Perimeter Mall is doing all right for itself, I think. But I think Bed Bath & Beyond is kind of dying.
The mall in Syracuse, Destiny USA, is dying so badly that they're changing the traffic pattern of the highway. To make it go. So for right now, there's a highway 81. I don't know if you know, goes like straight through Syracuse, like north-south.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the exits, like basically right in the middle of the city, maybe like toward the west side, is the Destiny USA Mall. It's like, I guess, one of the biggest malls in the state.
Mm-hmm.
And so I guess what they're now doing is they're going to cut out that part that goes through the city and just do the little beltway system that a lot of cities do.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes you basically, it forces more local traffic, especially to the mall. I don't know if it's actually for the mall, but it's definitely, they're changing all that, and it's like a whole big project, and it's kind of funny. I'm like, the mall's already dying. It's already pretty much dead.
It's going to be sad by the time they finish the route.
Yeah, I've been to that mall, and like half the stores are, COVID really hurt it, obviously, but half the stores are like empty. Like not even just closed, like empty. Like dark, lights out, empty. There's nothing in there.
That's how it is. There's like a mall, I think it's the Rotterdam Mall, called like Rotterdam Square or something. Ow, don't mind me. I'm just popping my back. And like, there's like some like weird electronics store and then like a kind of like a knick-knack comic book various, it's like a lunchbox, you know? That store lunchbox.
Oh, well, yeah.
That
Like
has,
a modern knick-knack store, almost.
yeah, for like
Pop
fantasy,
store,
sci-fi, fandom type.
pop culture store, I think.
Yeah. So it was like that, but it was not Lunchbox, but it was similar to that, but it was more of like a comic book store and video games. And then a movie theater. And then there's this place called The Local, I want to say, and it's kind of like a catch-all entertainment, axe throwing games bar thing. And then allegedly an aquarium.
That sounds like it has everything you need.
Which I've not frequented the aquarium. I'm uncertain if I wish to frequent the aquarium.
Oh, right.
Jury's still out on that one. I'll be honest. And then there's like another place just on Union Street. It's like a mile and a half or so down from Union College. That's also an aquarium. It's like this tiny little like storefront, and it's like aquarium. I'm like, there's no way this is an aquarium.
Pet store. That sounds like a pet store.
Yeah. So I don't know what's going on with that, but just upstate. Actually, no, it's not even upstate things. It's just Schenectady things.
Yeah, these are super.
Very specific, weird Schenectady things.
Well, I don't know if you announced last time on the show, but you are staying there for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, I will be there for the next 6 months.
Which means you have to brace the winter, and we already touched on this, earlier, but I think you're doing fine.
I'm doing okay. Yeah, honestly, I've really been enjoying it. We had that big snowstorm that went through Minnesota and then kind of came over. Right, it was the not last week, but the week before. Or last week. I don't know. Last week.
The week before Christmas? Yeah. It was like the week
week before Christmas when, they were saying that like our region was expecting, 6 to 24 inches of snow. From that snowstorm. So like right before that, we had just had a snow and we had gotten 6 inches, which was very exciting. Then we had the snowstorm blow in and all week, I didn't even know there was a snowstorm coming because I don't listen to the radio or read the news or anything. Like, I just realized that I don't keep up with Schenectady news unless someone else tells me Schenectady news.
You get like a winter weather warning thing.
I did get that eventually, like once the storm came in. But
you're in the storm.
Yeah, like once the storm was there, I was like, yeah, it's a winter storm. Yeah. But my boss at work was like, hey, I know you told me that your flight is on Saturday. Just so you know, there's a big old storm coming and that might impact your flight. And it ended up only delaying my flight by like an hour, maybe, like 50 minutes, which was fine. I just had to rebook on a later flight for my connecting flight because I missed my connecting flight because of it. But because they delayed it so early, they were able to rebook for me before I even got on the first plane. So that was totally fine. But that storm, we only got like 5 inches of snow unless we got some snow after I left. But it ended up being really warm, like it was above freezing for most of the storm. And so we really didn't get that much snow.
Yeah.
It was like 5 inches. So I haven't experienced like a big, huge snowstorm yet. But when I got to Minnesota, there was already like a foot of snow on the ground and it was snowing when I got there. It was also 0 degrees. So if we were worried about my ability to handle the cold, I have now existed below 0 for like 4 straight days. And like one of the days the high was -5. The high. It was -20 when I was outside.
Outside.
Yeah, I was outside. Okay, well that was only for like a short time because that was the day that I left Minnesota, so I was just outside to like bring my stuff to the car. But the days that I actually like went and played outside, it was like -10 to 15. Maybe like -7. It was actually so cool though. Here, let me show you. My eyelashes froze.
For our listeners, she's going to start showing pictures.
I'm going to show a picture of my frozen eyelashes. Oh, that's glare. Glare. No, glare. Okay, I'm just gonna text it to you. But yeah, like the little, like, tips of my hair that were, like, sticking out, cause, like, you know, my hair's unruly. They were frozen and all, like, white. And then my eyelashes were all frozen. I looked kinda crusty, but it was fun.
Yeah, it doesn't even get that cold here.
Yeah, like I mean, after that, I think the biggest thing is just going to be when I have to drive while it's physically snowing. That I have not done yet. But I've been given lots of advice from the other Edisons that are up there and the ones who were also, like, born in the north about how to drive on snow, so we're good.
There's no, like, secret.
Really just drive slowly and leave more space.
More space, you know. So you didn't have to drive the last few times it snowed?
I did, but, like, not while it was actively snowing.
Oh.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, yeah, once you get into, like, a whiteout condition and you lose visibility, then you're...
Right, then you're not driving anyway. But I mean, like, yeah, it was never, like, crazy, but, like, my roommate and I were, like, driving to work together, and so she was just driving anyway. That day. Okay. So, like, she drove. Because I was like, well, I really haven't driven on it yet, and I know we're gonna be, like, out late, 'cause we had, like, a dinner party after work, and so she just drove, and it was fine. But she was more comfortable. I was like, I don't want to make the first time I'm driving on the snow, like, with someone else in the car late at night. You know? Especially because the temperature did drop. We were kind of worried that it would drop below freezing and that the roads would ice over, so.
Yeah, they don't always plow everything, depending on how big your street is.
Yeah, we have, luckily, we're off, like, a main road of sorts. It's not like a main road, but I think they are pretty good about plowing the road that we live on. It does become, like, kind of residential, but it's like a connecting road to get to 890. Like, you go down it a little further past where we live, and there's that. And then we have, like, a plow person who's hired by our complex to plow the parking lot.
Yeah, so do we, but they haven't been plowing our parking lot very well this year. Or maybe
like about, actually, we ran into the plow because the day I left, my flight was supposed to take off at 5:45 a.m. And given my experience trying to get out of Pittsburgh from Thanksgiving, it was not fun, and I missed my flight because of TSA. So I was really worried because a bunch of the flights from the day before, when it was actively snowing all day, those were all canceled and delayed. So I was like, everybody and their grandma's going to be at this airport, and the Albany airport, as wonderful as it is, it's a good airport. It's a small airport. And I was like, they are not equipped for the amount of people who are going to be trying to get through security at this time. So I got there, like, really early, and it kind of sucked, but it was fine.
TSA. Can't play TSA. They're trying. Some of them are.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's, like, not their fault at all. There was just a lot of people, and it's a small airport. So I knew that the line was going to be long. So I just got there really early.
I don't think I've ever seen more than, like, 4 people in the Syracuse airport line. Like, I have pre-check, but sometimes, like, there's, like, 3 people in that line, and there's no one in the regular line. I'm like, well.
It's like, well, why don't I just go in the regular line? Yeah.
But, yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I'm hoping I get pre-check.
Hoping? You could just pay for it.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I'm going tomorrow. Tomorrow is my pre-check appointment. So it's really more, I guess I'm hoping that it goes through, because I've heard that it, like, can take up to an amount of time, but a lot of people have gotten it, like, faster than that amount of time. So I'm hoping I'll have it in time to fly back. And then I don't have to stand in regular security at Hartsfield-Jackson. But I mean, either way, it'll be fine.
I don't remember how long it took. It is a bit funny. I think you just buy less screening. You can buy your way out of security.
Yeah, I kind of, like, when they said an interview, I kind of expected them to, like, they're gonna, like, ask me questions and stuff. I think they just, like, give it to you. And so you, like, prove that you're, like, a nice person or whatever.
Well, I guess, I assume they do background check.
Yeah, like, they run the background check. That's probably what part of the cost is, anyway. It's paying for the background check that they're gonna run.
Yeah, and you don't have too many things on your criminal record, so you were probably good to go.
I think I should be okay.
Just a few of those,
Some small demeanors.
Yeah, back in your day.
Yeah, back in the day. I was a real troublemaker. Miscreant.
But you don't really fly that. I mean, I guess you fly a bit. I don't know. I feel like you don't fly as often.
I really never did until I moved to New York. But I will be flying back to Atlanta. Well, that's not true. Not in February. I will be flying to Florida in February. I'm going back to Atlanta in March. I'm flying back to Atlanta in April. Flying back to Atlanta in May. And then...
Live in Atlanta. I mean, come on.
Probably making a trip to Houston. I know, I really should have picked a closer rotation for the number of times I have to go back. It's all for weddings and the Taylor Swift concert. But that's, like, important, so.
Did you actually get tickets?
Yeah. I have tickets to the Saturday Atlanta show. It was a stressful experience.
I didn't follow it that closely, but you didn't get Ticketmaster scammed or...
I mean, it was still, like, terrible, because we were gonna get better seats than we had, and then they, like, were, like, taken from us, and then we ended up with ones that are, like, literally in, like, the highest section of the stadium. That's all that was available. And if we had, like, tried to, like, leave that line to do, like, a different day, because only one of my friends that I was trying to get tickets with got the code from Ticketmaster. And they still waited in line for 6 hours before we finally, like, were able to, like, actually secure the tickets. So, it was kind of nuts. It was not fun. But I wanted those lower bowl tickets, but it is what it is, and it's still going to be a great concert anyway. So, I'm very excited. It's going to be good. Also, the date of the show that we're going to is April 29th, which is, like, kind of cool, because in one of her songs on the new album, she's like, do you really want to know where I was April 29th? And it's like, we're going on April 29th. So that will probably be my Instagram caption, because I'm basic, but I don't even care.
Yeah, listeners, if you want generic white girl stuff, be sure to follow Elizabeth on Instagram.
Yeah, follow me for generic white girl content. I actually haven't posted in, like, months, so it probably wouldn't be very exciting.
At Gilby23.
At Illy_Gilly. Illy_Gilly. I made it in high school.
That's...
I deserve to be bullied.
Elementary school. I count.
I don't know, did Instagram exist when I was in middle school?
It had Instagram.
What came first, Instagram or Snapchat? I know Snapchat started to exist, like, my 8th grade year.
Instagram was initially released in 2010. So. Yeah.
Yeah, so I would have been in middle school.
There you go.
I think I got it before my junior year of high school.
That's pretty late. I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get Snapchat until like in my sophomore year of high school.
So how were you communicating with the kids, the fellow kids?
I did not communicate with the kids.
The kids, no.
I was not a cool kid.
No, you had to.
I talked to very few people. I mean, I think my communication with the kids was whoever I was on a sports team or in youth group with, and it was like in-person communication. I don't think that was really it.
And your mom. Yeah.
My bestie, Sharon. Yeah. Oh, I'm also going to 2 other concerts in the spring, but they're both in New York. One's in Albany. It's Noah Kahan. And then the other one is, I don't know where it is, but it's Mountjoy. So I think that'll be pretty cool as well. But both of those are like in May, April. I think they're actually in the same week. Like one's over the weekend and then one's on like a Tuesday night.
Tuesday night concert.
Yeah, that's the one in Albany. It's gonna be worth it though.
So, did they still not let you take vacation? Or?
It's like PTO, so I'm gonna have to like very strategically do that because of all these weddings that I have to go to.
Are they like the week-long variety or just?
So all of these, I'm in a wedding in the end of July, so that'll be when I'm on my next rotation. And that one, I'm assuming I'll likely have to be there earlier for various things. But my cousin's wedding that's in February is on a Friday. It's like a Friday night. So I'm gonna have to take off Thursday, Friday. Which, like, not the end of the world. But I'll have to travel on Thursday. And then I'll be there Friday. And then I'm trying to work with my family right now to book that because they're gonna have to acquire me from either there's 2 airports that are kind of close, so I need to plan which airport and then plan my family retrieving me from the airport.
You don't get to use snow days at work. You don't get those.
I don't know if we get snow days. It's like permissive time, so it's like, in theory, I could take as much time off as I want. But also at like, I don't know.
So it's unlimited.
Yeah. But I'm also taking 3 weeks off of work right now.
Yeah. Come on, get to work.
Well, they always tell us to take 2 weeks between our rotations. I only took 1 in the summer, so I'm taking the extra week now.
Is that how it works? They tell you to take 2 weeks?
Between the rotations, yeah.
Just
They say 1 to 2 weeks between the rotations.
Just for fun.
Well, it's, sometimes people are moving, so it's like more so I guess for the people who are moving. But with this holiday season, it's like I was going to take the 2 weeks anyway, but then we get the 2nd off for New Year's observed, and then Evan's birthday is on the 5th, and so I was like, well, I'd like to just stay until after his birthday. So it doesn't really make any sense to start my rotation virtually.
I guess so. Doomsday.
Although I'm getting to the point where I'm getting kind of bored, so I honestly might get on my computer next week and clean out my email inbox or something.
You haven't found activities to keep yourself busy?
Actually, I am really busy. I was very busy today. This is like the first time I've like laid down.
Or you don't even sleep. You just.
I don't sleep. I don't rest ever. I don't need sleep. Sleep is for the weak. No, but I mean tomorrow I have that appointment. I'm getting my hair cut. Probably gonna try and see some friends because I have a few of those. Not many. because I'm uncool, but some friends who I haven't gotten to see. So I'm hoping that will work out. But we shall see. I would like forward to. And then New Year's Eve, I have like it's like a small New Year's Eve get together. So I think that'll be fun. Watch the college football playoff games.
Yeah, like, that's this weekend?
Mm-hmm.
By the time the show comes out, you've already done it, so you can talk about it in the past.
Gotcha. Should I talk about it? Oh wait, what if I just guess? And I'm like, man, that Georgia-Ohio State game, can you believe in the third quarter that Stetson Bennett got injured and had to go out, and then they had to play their backup and then say something like that, and then what if it actually happened? That'd be so crazy.
You should have said something generic enough so that way it could sound right.
Yeah. Well, that wouldn't have been fun if it was generic. It needs to be very ridiculously specific. And then it's how did she know that? Because either way, it's probably not going to be right.
Are those games are on the 31st?
Yeah,
right?
I think they're both on the 31st. Let me check.
Yeah.
Let me ask Espen.
Yeah, no, the 31st.
Oh, FSU's coming back in the Cheez-It Bowl.
Great name.
17-11 against Oklahoma.
Cheez-It, thank you for sponsoring a bowl game.
Did you see that they moved the Bad Boy Mowers from the Gasparilla Bowl to the Pinstripe Bowl?
I did see that.
It was the Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe Bowl, and I was like, dang, I wish, that would have been so good. I just want to be in the Bad Boy Mowers Bowl so badly.
Do you?
I just think of this, can you imagine the swag? Bad Boy Mowers. So good.
Do you think we get lawnmowers? Do you think they would get us lawnmowers?
Grayson, are you coming on the podcast? Oh, you're not, Grayson.
No, either way.
Would you like to come on the podcast?
Sure.
You have to be.
Surprise guest, it's Evan.
How's it going?
Surprise, first time guest.
Yeah.
That's not true.
No, he's doing
It's been on the background.
Yeah,
you were in the background one time, yeah. Let's say, because I was doing the podcast and you were doing your homework.
Yeah.
And you commenting. I think Grayson's been on before, too.
Definitely. I'm trying to remember.
Okay.
What brought the siblings? What were we looking up? I don't even remember. Oh, what time the games are.
Yeah, I'm looking up the...
This is taking a long time.
It's both on New Year's Eve. It's the Peach Bowl and the Fiesta Bowl this year.
The Fiesta Bowl's earlier. 2 or
Probably,
4.
yeah, the 2 p.m.
Probably
game.
4 so that
4
they
p.m.
can go right into the next game.
Yeah, it's the 4 p.m. game. State Farm Stadium, Glendale, Arizona. Oh, I saw this mock-up of the where the World Cup stadiums would be, and they're all over. They're in. There's there's a Mexico City stadium. There's a stadium in Toronto, and then they're all over the U.S. too.
Yeah, I think 16 different cities, something like that.
How does that work? With Qatar? What's the proper way to say it?
Both are.
All of them. Just keep saying it. Cater.
Okay, well I know that's not right. I know it's either Qatar or Qatar.
Yeah,
but
both are.
I feel like Qatar is how they want you to say it, but then Qatar was how all the reporters were saying it. So I don't know. No comment, Daniel. Anyway.
That's the real struggle.
I thought it would be interesting because, if you're playing all these games with all these different time zones, I feel like it would just mess with people. when they have to travel to whichever stadium is going to be the one.
Yeah, so games are like 3 days apart during the whatever the play between your group to group play.
Mm-hmm.
So like you'll play in maybe LA and then 3 days later play in New York or wherever they're having it near New York. So yeah, I guess. But I mean they're spaced out enough that it shouldn't really.
So is this a good chance so that you can see all the teams at your like one stadium in theory?
All of American sports deals with the time zone shifts all the time.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean there's like back-to-back MLB games where you're playing in Toronto and then you're playing in San Jose.
Yeah, I guess it's like when they play the World Series and they go back and forth between the like when the Braves were playing and
Any series in baseball and basketball too.
yeah.
Pretty much everything but the NFL, and even then, they go from like Seattle to London.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that makes sense. I guess that's like really not that bad.
Yeah, so I don't know how many games will be in Atlanta. I don't think they've decided yet, but at least some group play will be. I doubt that any of like the semifinals or finals will be here.
Really? You don't think so?
Imagine they'll give some good games just because of the Atlanta United, just because Atlanta United has done so well in the last few years.
Yeah.
Probably a quarterfinal game will get.
I think we should get the final.
Well, I agree.
Why don't you tell someone about that?
I'm gonna write a letter.
Plus,
I think you should give Atlanta the final. That's it. It's just because I spoke. Because you walked through that door, I thought you were Grayson.
I figured. Yeah.
I don't know, it's just something Grayson would do. We rearranged Grayson's room today, and it was an event.
An event?
Yes. Well, because I don't know how long it's been since she dusted in there, but it was dusty. And so it was like moving stuff and then dusting everything and vacuuming up all the dust and then moving more stuff and like rearranging, and it was like a whole thing. Very exciting stuff going on down in the southeast, really.
Like, it's like, no, I got nothing.
You're like, it's riveting. I'm sorry to the listeners.
Yeah, I don't know what you want me to say. What do you?
Well, after this, I'm going to watch Glass Onion, so I can provide my movie critic review on that next time.
Yeah, I watched Glass Onion. It's a trip.
That's what I've heard. It seems like it's fun.
I was going to watch it, and then we didn't get around to it, so we watched it separately, and he texted me. What did he say? Hold on. No, he said, I just watched Glass Onion. It was too confusing. And I said, and I don't know how much of a spoiler this is, but like, I said, like, they explain it at the end. Like the first one where they go through what happens.
Yeah.
You know, like, mystery movies. And he said, but the whole time before that, I didn't understand it.
Isn't that kind of the point of a mystery movie?
That's what I told him. I said, that's kind of the point. It's a mystery. Well, look at us. We're on the same page.
Yeah.
Then he got excited about something else.
Saw like I think it was a tweet maybe, talking about it and how people were like, it's almost like Agatha Christie and like Hercule Poirot novels.
It is, but like more comedy.
Yeah, because it's,
Almost like a
Daniel Craig playing, is it Daniel Craig?
Yeah.
Yeah, Daniel Craig playing a Southern man.
I know, I could not get over his accent.
His Louisiana accent, like,
that
was like my big hold up for the whole Knives Out movie. It was just like, you can't sound like this.
No, the same. When I watched Knives Out, I was like, if you're a detective, just be British.
I know, but I mean, we have like Matlock and Terry Mason and Monk. And what's that movie?
Yeah. What was that movie?
My Cousin Vinny. I was gonna say My Cousin Vinny. Oh, Mississippi Burning. That's the one with the lawyer, right?
The one with the lawyer.
I that one I think is about like a lawyer and people doing the college students doing like the bus rides through Mississippi in protest of civil rights. Like against the Jim Crow laws.
Yeah, I think so. All right, well, that's a good poll. That's a pretty random poll. It was like at work yesterday. One of my coworkers was describing like a show they were watching on Amazon, and someone else was like, "Oh yeah, is that the show with the girl?"
I do that.
Show with the girl. Yeah.
Was it The Summer I Turned Pretty?
No, it wasn't.
Oh, probably not.
It could have been any show. It was the show with the girl.
And
then with the guy also, and she said, "Yeah, that one."
And was it The Boys?
No, it wasn't. It was The Peripheral.
I really haven't looked that much into what Amazon's putting out lately.
At your recommendation, I'm in Letterkenny.
Yeah, they just put out a new season.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
I'm
Apparently,
only
episode 1 of the new season is like a very Letterkenny-esque episode. Like, it's like peak Letterkenny. Do you like it, Daniel?
like season 4 and 5. I think it's good.
It's good.
Who was talking about there? It's very Canadian.
I love the humor in the show. It's so enjoyable to me. And it's like not Trailer Park Boys. And I like that it's not Trailer Park Boys. I could not do Trailer Park Boys.
I just like the alliterations.
Yeah. I like when they do the get after it.
It's fast too. It's got to be up there with Veep in terms of jokes per second.
Yeah. It's like rapid fire. Look, I wore my rainbow socks today. For the viewers, it's like an ombre, stripy ankle sock that is rainbow.
For the viewers, for the listeners.
I tried so hard. I still got it wrong. Oh, goodness.
All right, I'll let you go.
Like, and on that note, I'm cut off from the podcast for today.
Yep, things. We'll catch you next time after you move for another 4 weeks. After your next 7-month move.
Yeah. It was a very chaotic December.
Apparently.
Be able to catch me before February. Certainly. January is looking like my least busy month coming up, so.
Oh, yeah. We're going to record like 10 episodes that month then.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right. Thanks for coming on.
Yep. Bye, y'all.